From Interior Alaska's news leader, this is the Fairbanks Evening News.
And good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us for this special edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We're coming to you live from the Ice Park. I'm Billy Sundgren, and Megan Lewis will be joining us in just a little bit, and Mike Schultz will be along with a look at the weather. Leading our newscast tonight, Anchorage Mayor Mark Begich isn't saying yet if he will run for the U.S. Senate that's currently held by Ted Stevens. Begich said today he will form an exploratory committee to help make that decision, and that the decision would be announced well before the June 1st deadline. He said forming the committee will allow him to raise funds and talk to Alaskans to see if they think it's time for a change of leadership. Begich has been courted by the top Democratic leaders to challenge Stevens, who is being investigated over a home remodeling project. Stevens is the nation's longest-serving senator. A 30-year-old Fairbanks man accused of shooting another man in an apparent domestic dispute has been ordered to serve 2 years in prison on a reduced charge of felony assault in the second degree. Christopher Fetty shot 30-year-old Nathan Hurley in late July. Fetty was at first charged with several counts, including attempted murder. He was arrested after a standoff with police. Authorities say Hurley was shot after intervening between an argument between Fetty and his girlfriend. Hurley has since recovered from his wounds. During his sentencing late this afternoon, Fetty apologized to his victim, who was not present during the court proceedings.
God looked out for me and Nathan that day. He guided that bullet to that man without killing him. And I'm responsible to God and to everybody, never for this to happen again. Like my lawyer said, like Mr. Spire said, I'm really scared that I'm going to get out in the fall and have nowhere to go and no job. Once again, I'm so sorry. I wish Nathan would have come today so I could look at him and tell him. That's all.
And how do we get more people to Fairbanks? That was one of the main topics at the 2008 First Annual Interior Tourism Conference. The conference, which was held today at the Westmark, was filled with many local businesses involved with the tourism industry. Conference attendees were anxious to talk about issues at hand and to learn from each other as well as other experts in the tourism field. Topics discussed included a customer service training program, cultural awareness, and hopes of receiving more participation from outlying areas at conferences held in the future.
So there's a lot of things that unite us, not only in product, but challenges we have in bringing our product to the marketplace. And this we feel is a good starting point to create more dialogue and position us more as a destination and giving us tools on how to do that.
Do we have him? And I thought it was going to be a lot colder outside, but the temperature is dropping. Let's go ahead and see if we can't check in with Mike Schultz to give us a quick weather update.
Hey, Billy, I tell you what, it was a great day across the interior. It's beautiful here at the Ice Park tonight. We're expecting that to continue right on through the weekend. Temperatures get a little bit colder, and might have to see some breezes in the hills, but all in all, it's going to be great for the Ice Park, so be sure and check it out. Don't forget, Saturday is canned food day. 4 cans of food get you into the park. As far as our weather is concerned, like I said, it's going to be great here, and it's not too bad at the lower 48. We'll tell you all about it with a more detailed look at the weather a little bit later on. Billy?
And you absolutely got to love live TV, Mike. I certainly do. And we will see you in just a little bit. And we'll have more news for you during the special edition of the Fairbanks Evening News, coming to you live from the Ice Park right after this. And welcome back to the live edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. The Fairbanks Rescue Mission has made it their goal to provide much-needed resources for many homeless people in the community, while serving numerous men, women, and children every day. The Rescue Mission depends on its dedicated staff and the loyalty of the Fairbanks community in providing those resources. Last month, the Rescue Mission served close to 5,000 meals and provided lodging to almost 1,000 men, over 400 women, and 92 children. With a yearly budget of just over $500,000, the director gives thanks to the many local donors.
Get too far beyond that because we're a community that gives. We have almost 5,000 donors, over 4,500 donors, and when I tell that to people from other places, they can't understand that because they're struggling to get 100 donors. And here in Fairbanks, it speaks volumes of the Fairbanks community to have that many people in a community that support one organization or one cause. It paints a picture for everybody that hear that, what type of community we are.
The gymnasium at Badger Road Elementary School has been transformed into the staging area for budding young and enthusiastic scientists. It is time for the school's annual science fair, where students' project began with a simple question. Themes range from sports to the International Polar Year. Now, since we're at the ice park today, the News Center actually found 2 fourth-grade students from Mrs. Fantasy's class who wanted to know what would happen if you froze liquids like orange juice, rice milk, and iced tea. Which one would melt the fastest? They soon found out that OJ melted the quickest. The 4th graders credit their newfound knowledge to participating in the science fair.
Because it kind of lets you know more things than you get to know, and you get to experiment things that you don't really get to try, and you find out stuff you never really thought would happen.
It's fun because you experiment with stuff, and then you're like, oh, this is fun, I'm going to do it again for fun again, you know? And then you're just like, wait, maybe I'm going to go to district. So it's like you get a whole bunch of surprises during it.
Significant changes have been made in the past year to take care of the wounded soldiers at Fort Wainwright. News Center 11's Monty Bowen has more in this week's military report.
It's called the Warrior Transition Unit and Soldiers Family Assistance Center. It provides support to wounded, ill, and injured soldiers. It's where single soldiers assigned to the unit live, and a one-stop hub for all of their needs. Once they're found to meet the criteria, they are assigned to the WTU.
It's a new organization that the Army developed within the past year that takes all of those 3 legacy categories, medical hold, medical holdover, active duty extension, created a unit just for them, just for the soldiers to be assigned to.
Specialist Adam Johnson was in Iraq for a year and assigned to the WTU because of a fractured vertebrae.
Since I've come over here, compared to what I was receiving beforehand, it's just tremendous. The getting first pick, basically, for whatever I need, getting all the attention I need from any doctor, it's been great.
Before the WTU, there was a lot of red tape and waiting.
It wasn't that I was getting treated badly, it was just taking a little bit longer to get certain procedures done, or to see a specialist doctor, or to see whoever. It was just taking more time, and now it seems like things are put on a rush since I've been over here.
He's anxious to get through the program and back to work.
I want to return to active duty. I want to rehab and heal up as much as I can. I might not be able to go back to my old job, but hopefully they can find a spot for me somewhere in the Army.
Captain Aaron Willard was also wounded in Iraq and is assigned to the WTU. He said there's a world of difference between the old system and the new.
The changes in the military just have been phenomenal, and this is just another outstanding unit.
Monty Bowen, News Center 11.
The Military Report is brought to you by Birchwood Homes.
It's way too much fun out here, I'll tell you that much.
Okay, everyone, it is time for the Yukon question of the day. Now, yesterday we asked what the maximum number of sled dogs were allowed per team.
I wrote down on my little piece of paper 11, which was wrong. I don't know why I thought 11. She told me 12. She was wrong, too. The maximum number allowed is 14. Dan Palmer, our winner tonight. Congratulations, Dan. Our office will be contacting you.
Now, tonight's question, we need you to name 3 checkpoints along the Yukon Quest Trail. To submit your answers, go ahead and go to webcenter11.com, follow that contest link, and as always, Megan and I will have the answer for you tomorrow night.
And don't go away, Fairbanks. We're going to have your local sports right here live from the ice park. And when the Fairbanks Evening News continues, stay with us. Welcome back, Interior Alaska. I'm Megan Lewis with a check of your local sports live from the ice park. And since we're at the ice park, it's fitting we begin on the rink. The Ice Dogs ended their 4-game homestand last night with a matchup against Wichita Falls. Coming into the contest, Fairbanks just 9 points out of first place. Monday night, head coach Rob Proffitt said his team played 58 minutes of solid hockey, and in order to beat these guys, they'd have to play 60 minutes of solid hockey. Last night, well, there was roughly about 20 minutes of that kind of play, and it completely cost them the game. The Wildcats scored back-to-back goals in the second period, going up 2-0, and it wasn't until the final 2 minutes of the game the Dogs were able to put something together. However, Fairbanks goes down 2-1, and Coach Proffitt, he's not a happy camper.
We were just terrible. Like, I can't even break it down to that. We had zero effort, zero mental, physical. We just weren't. I can't even go to the point of saying we weren't sharp. We just weren't here. We were invisible. I mean, if somebody came in late there and watched a third period, they thought we were a pretty good team. But somebody that was here was going to think you're at a Jekyll and Hyde contest.
At the collegiate level this coming Friday, the Nanook hockey team will find out who they'll take on in the postseason. But tonight, a last-minute schedule change has them taking on, well, themselves. Doc's putting together an inter-squad scrimmage just to keep the guys in game shape during this hurry-up-and-wait period. It is free to the public. Starts at 7:30 in the Carlson Center.
Well, it's really, I mean, you can't really focus on who you're playing. It's kind of more how you're playing. We focus on that all year, but I mean, really in the playoffs, it's how Wiley Rogers is playing and how our defensemen are playing and how our special teams are and how we're scoring goals. I mean, those are probably the specifics of us playing well, not necessarily who we're playing.
On to some basketball news. The Lady Nanooks have just 4 games left in the regular season, and even though they didn't get the win they had hoped for in Anchorage, there's a good chance they'll get it this weekend against a few Washington teams. Western Washington is up first on Thursday, then they'll battle with Central Washington. Coach Lynn Andrews says regardless of how many teams are left, her team is still very focused on winning and completing this season with a 13-13 record.
2 home, 2 away, 4 games left. Our goal right now is, at the beginning, was to be above 500. We're 9-13. We win these last 4, we're 13-13, so we're 500. So, I think as a coach, you continue to evaluate as your season goes on and reset some goals. And I just talked to him in the locker room, and, for us to win these last 4 games helps.
All right, high school fans, we'll get to it. Here we are. Last night, one big game to talk about, West Valley versus Eielson. We mentioned it all year long that every game counts, even the games against other divisions. While Eielson may be a 3A school, this sure gave Wolfpack the beating. Ravens senior guard Kyle McConnell scored a game-high 16 points, 9 from three-point land, as Eielson proved that standard grade A basketball played for all 4 quarters can get you the win. While the Wolfpack held a distant lead through 3.5 quarters of the game, Eielson learned from others. If you want to beat West Valley, they'll surely let you in the 4th quarter. Ravens hold West Valley to just 37 points.
Good win for us. For the last couple seasons, we always come here the last 2 or 3 games, and the last 2 times we blew one against them, so it feels good to come out and win against them tonight.
As for the ladies, well, as usual, we have a completely different story for you. You know that Eielson is a 3A school, and while the ladies are tough within their division, they were no match for Steve Kacheri's Lady Wolfpack. West Valley girls are quite frankly bigger and tougher. They hold Eielson's top shooter, Cherie Miller, to just 5 points on the evening. West Valley's junior guard Katie Oates bring in a team high of 15 points, all from 3-point range. Lady Wolfpack go on to win, giving the Lady Ravens a series beating 63-33.
I mean, to think that we played such a good game against such a good team. Eielson is a very good basketball team. They played very well together, but I thought, and respect us, that our defense was outstanding tonight. And then some kids stepped up into our platoon rotation and did some good things for us offensively.
Up next for West Valley teams, a matchup in North Pole. Last time these two met was last week. The ladies took care of business, knocking the Lady Patriots down. Good peg or 2 on that one. But the guys will once again a 4th quarter blowout against North Pole, plus their press on top of that. Well, that cost West Valley the game. Hey, that does it for me. I'm going to go find somewhere to get warm. Mike's up next with your forecast. Stay with us.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. We were talking earlier about the International Polar Year. As you can see behind me, that along with the University of Alaska, they're the ones sponsoring a lot of things here at the Ice Alaska. And speaking of the International Polar Year, I'm here with one of the scientists involved with it. This is Frank Williams from up at the university. And Frank says he has something new that might even be helping me as far as forecasting weather, right?
Yes, Mike. We have a new model that we're running called WRF, the Weather Research and Forecasting Model. And what it's going to do as we optimize it for Alaska, the very different conditions that we have here, and as we crank up the resolution, it'll be just like adding a very special toolkit for you to use when you're making your forecast.
Oh, great. I need a toolkit. I have a lot of tools that are missing. Sometimes it seems like it's empty, but yeah, that'll be good. As far as the public itself, how would they be able to get an advantage from this?
Well, right now we're using the model to help us more accurately predict where ash plumes would go when volcanoes come off. That affects aviation a lot. And another one like that is smoke. smoke. When you have wildfire smoke, it's important to know not only where it is across the state, but how deep it is, so that you might be able to fly into a place or not fly into a place.
Well, that's great. We look forward to hearing more of this in the future, because it's going to be helping a lot of us, including me especially. Thanks a lot, Frank.
Yeah, sure.
Now, taking a look at our weather for today, it was a beautiful day across the interior, and as far as our numbers go, you can see the record high and the record low, 1938 and 1932. The sunrise this morning was at 8:10, sunset at 6:01, 9 hours, 51 minutes of daylight. The kids of weather today, Chinook Charter Elementary School, partly cloudy skies, 12 degrees. Remember, the last orientation meeting will be at the school on February 28th at 6 p.m. thanks to Mount McKinley Bank. Here's your map across the state. As you can see, temperatures very cool north of the Alaska Range, south of the Alaska Range, quite a bit warmer, and a little bit of precipitation in there also. And as far as our satellite picture, all the energy down to the south. As you can see, most of the cloudiness is being trapped by the Alaska Range to the north. Skies clearing out, colder temperatures on the way. As far as our temperatures for the state today, Cordova 44, 38 below a dead horse for the overnight low. And in the interior right now, temperatures very consistent. The warmest temperatures, again, south of the Alaska Range, Talkeetna at 36 degrees, 12 degrees at Allison Air Force Base and Fort Wainwright at 15 degrees. Lower 48 weather, very quiet everywhere you look. A few snow flurries this morning at Birmingham, Alabama, and Atlanta, Georgia. Lots of sunshine out to the west. A few showers over the Pacific Northwest. And as far as our satellite and radar, look at that frontal system moving right across the Florida Peninsula. The blue indicating where all the snow is at in the Ohio Valley, moving up over the northeast and over the northern Rockies. What lies ahead? Well, we're talking about colder temperatures once again across the northern Rockies and over the northeastern part of the country. A lot of warm air down to the south and over the southwest also. And as far as Iraq is concerned, 66 in Mosul, the same for Kirkuk, Baghdad 71, lots of sunshine. In Afghanistan, partly cloudy at Kabul, 58 degrees there. Kandahar actually up to 77 degrees. And Alaska's map for tomorrow, calling for lots of sunshine over a large portion of the state north of the Alaska Range. South of the Alaska Range, we'll see rain showers and rain mixed with snow. And as far as our forecast for tonight, kind of chilly, 15 below, another cold night with mostly clear skies. We're not looking for really strong auroras, though, and there may be some breezes in the hills. Tomorrow's forecast, looking at lots of sunshine again and warmer temperatures, about 15 degrees for the high in the extended forecast. Again, calling for sunshine on Friday. Saturday for canned food day here. It looks like a really nice day, 3 degrees below zero. That's not that cold, really, 27 below overnight low. But warming up for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, although, Megan, I don't think you think that 13 degrees is very warm.
No, no. He goes, 3 below. That's not too bad. I looked and I went, okay. All right. Welcome to Fairbanks.
You weren't
Megan
here
Lewis.
for the 48 below,
no,
so
I
you
missed
feel good
it.
about that.
Definitely. And you can definitely feel the temperature drop. I mean, it was nice when I left work today about 5:15 or so. Nice out in the parking lot. And you start walking down the ice hallway, if you will, and it's like, oh, yeah, I'm at the ice park.
I think the sun going down has a little bit to do with that, too.
Tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, the single block sculptures will be done.
They'll
be ready for then the multi-blocks start next week.
Okay, well.
And you haven't seen those, you're going to be amazed, believe me.
And the word that keeps coming to mind, no pun intended, this is very cool, And I just, God, it's so, but it really is.
Where do you see the slides? The sled hill over on the other side over there.
You're going to go down it?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Okay,
We
might have to get video of that. Okay, kids, well, we've got to say goodnight. Everybody come down, check out the ice park. We're glad you could join us tonight. From all of us here at the News Center, have a good night, everyone.
Come see the ice park.